explored on the channel before, video games can have some particularly out-of-place audio hidden in places that you wouldn't expect to find. This is why today we're diving into the top strangest, most confusing hidden audio discoveries and mysteries ever found in a video game.
Guys, for 8 minutes, don't link anything in chat. Alright, no videos, let's chill. Save your links, okay? I'll see who's a good boy.
Call of Duty, World at War. I heard a rumor on the internet that Call of Duty World at War had some very haunting sounds hidden out of the bounds of the playable area. I also had heard that only in a particular spot out of bounds in the map Asylum, you could hear the screams of a woman and the cries of a little girl. Unfortunately, I've been searching the out of bounds for quite a while now, and it appears that this rumor can be confirmed as a load of horse. Whoa, wait a second. Guess that confirms that. For if you were to sit in the out of bounds in this exact spot, you can hear the screams plain as day. Nowhere in the normal boundaries of the map could I find a spot where this audio can actually be heard in the playable area of the game. My only guess was this was part of a cut section of the map, or Treyarch just genuinely wanted to mess with players curious enough to explore past the boundaries of the game. Either way, it's weird. Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption fans know Tumbleweed as the home to a number of strange mysteries and discoveries. One of the most common reports is the sound of disembodied voices that you can hear throughout the abandoned manor. It's been said that, wait a second, is that a gun sticking out of this door? And who the hell is this? Is that the ghost? Let's get in there. Oh, get him!
I love you, Teraba.
Ooh. What just happened? Well, we weren't actually supposed to be able to get through that door, so I guess you could call that an out-of-bounds spot. If we actually glitch through to the other side of this door and not immediately get attacked upon entry for some reason, we can see that the entire room is filled with non-player characters. Well, that may have been a clever trick by Rockstar, but I think we found the source of the mystery Tumbleweed voices. Guild Wars 2. Players found that by brushing against a couple of
I want to see the Guild Wars one. Okay, after the Guild Wars one, it's Nintendo time.
Random corn stalks in a random location in the game, it would result in some incredibly out-of-place, blood-curdling screams. To make matters much more mysterious, these sounds were patched out of the game in a later update. It ultimately feels as though we were never meant to hear these screams, which makes the whole thing a lot creepier. Jams.
I love these kind of videos. Anyone else? I love these. Ooh, top 10 Yo, I want to see more. Okay, so we're gonna do the Pokemon shit together. I don't give a fuck about Pokemon, really. People think I do because my name, but let's fucking do it.
Sessions. Jam Sessions for the Nintendo DS is a rhythm game like any other from the late 2000s that would have went largely unnoticed if it wasn't for the fact that it had this commercial.
Sponge cake!
That's not all it's remembered for, as players also found a very creepy audio discovery on the palette change menu. If you let the A6 string ring out uninterrupted for several seconds, you'll hear this. Forgive us. The only person I see needing to seek forgiveness is this little brat. Many players suggest that the audio was not intentional, that it's either muffled noise from the guitar or perhaps even Japanese accidentally left in from the original recording. The unexpected and somewhat sinister sound of its voice definitely scared the hell out of me the first time I heard it. Cuphead. Cuphead is a 2017 tribute to time-worn television cartoons. And just like a typical 1930s animation, it tends to feel bright and innocent while also relentlessly nightmarish and horrifying. None of that compares to this weird and disturbing unexpected audio that a very small portion of players encountered when they booted up the game, which didn't sound anything like what the main menu music was supposed to sound like. The reason these strange and unnerving sounds appeared for these players was because these players were actually thieves. And by that I mean they were actually playing illegal copies of the game. The audio is scripted and programmed to only trigger in the event that the game has failed to clear an authorization check, which would suggest that the game had been obtained illegally. On top of this, it's been found that by running the audio file through a spectrum...
Oh my god, there should be... Okay, if there's a streamer watching this video, here's a potential clip for you. If you're watching this video on stream, be like, oh, I had that bug too, and then say never mind.
...which is a visual representation of the audio file's sound spectrum. You get this. Some players even claim if you listen closely to the audio in the background, you can hear the words "you stole" over and over. Hate to be one of the guys that encountered this. Half-Life. Thanks to Falco00P, who told me about this one on my Discord. The map labeled C2A2B2 in the debug is an optional area in the original Half-Life that can be completely glossed over in the normal game. For some unexplained reason, only in exact spots and areas of this map you can hear unusual sounds that can't be found anywhere else in the game. Another thanks to Mindkill Games, who also showed me on my Discord and even more.
I heard that sound before. Do you guys ever go in the fucking Half-Life folders back in the day? Because you used to join a bunch of Counter-Strike servers and shit, and you used to download... You guys remember joining Counter-Strike servers and stuff, and you would download all these audio files and shit? And so you would go to the folder to just see all these fucking memes and shit? I remember that.
More terrifying audio mystery that can be found in the game files of the unreleased beta of Half-Life 2. The file is called Trans 6, and reportedly it's actual audio from a transmission of a Russian astronaut who burned up in the atmosphere in her aircraft upon re-entry. Although the recording itself has been highly debated in the scientific community, it makes very little sense why a recording this disturbing would be hidden in the files of the Half-Life 2 beta, considering it never even made it into the final game. But then again, the Half-Life 2 beta was filled with terrifying things. Mario Kart 8. YouTuber Harm noticed that in the MKTV menu in Mario Kart 8, there was me.
Okay, hold on. This guy says, can you pause while I do something in WoW? Hurry up. Sorry, chat. We'll wait at the Mario right here. Okay, thanks.
YouTuber Harm noticed that in the MKTV menu in Mario Kart 8, there was me dialogue in the background that sounded as though it could actually be reversed and pitched up audio of actual human dialogue. After digging through the files of the game and finding the me menu sound files, he confirmed his suspicions as correct when he pitched down and reversed the sound files as he initially thought. He came across a rather long, what appears to be field recording of a busy setting with lots of layers of talking human voices. At this point, however, I'm not sure how he managed to find this, but in the 40-minute sea of endless human voices in every direction, he managed to single out a particular voice in the flood of human chatter. Whoops. Bet Nintendo wouldn't like that, nor the ESRB. In fact, this is yet another instance where if the ESRB knew of this slightly offensive piece of hidden content, they would still mandate the game get re-rated and box art altered in order to warn consumers of the near impossible to find.
Wasn't that song from Mario Kart? No, Mario 64. Fuck. Shit. It was from 60. It was almost perfect timing. Damn, that would have been a mistake, huh?
Content, just like they did with Halo 2 and multiple other games that I covered in my video, Most Awkward Discoveries in Video Games. This means, of course, that Mario...
Thank you, Dudley, 6 months in a row. Clay Frog, thank you very much. 2 Dudley, thank you very much. M Tiger M, thank you.
Kart 8 is definitely deserving of a retroactive adult language sticker. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please subscribe. If you know any other crazy... Well, I can't speak for all of 2018. Well,
Llama Del Ray-Bans 31 months in a row. Thank you very fucking much. Thank you. Let's watch this video, yeah?
I can't speak for all of 2018.
It got me, dude.
2018 was a great year in terms of finding discoveries in video games. This is why I'm hugely honored to be presenting the top 10 craziest video game discoveries, mysteries, and Easter eggs of 2018. Warframe. Earlier this year, the free-to-play multiplayer game Warframe received a new hub for the game's second open-world map. However, for some unexplained reason, players entering this hub encountered an unbelievably enormous bug.
I was here, I remember the sponsorship.
Literally. And this is supposed to be a peaceful hub zone in the game where no game enemies were ever supposed to show up. The mechanical monstrosity is actually known as an orb, and they're only known to appear in the event that a player is going around creating too much chaos in the Orb Valis
Yeah,
world.
this one sucks. I was hoping like fucking freaky stuff. Oh, what's this?
We've all been there before. You're playing a video.
Ooh, creepiest enemies in games. Ah, I like this. I like these kind of videos. I like these ones. Okay. Yes. Hold on. Hold on. Hold up. Guys, 1 sec. Everyone dance.
I got so much time today. I got hopes and dreams and plans all yet to be made. So look out the way, 'cause I'm coming through now. I got something to do, and I'll try as I might to keep up with the lights till I'm into bed for the night. So today, I got so much time today. I got so much Just think about the pounding in your head.
The hell's this music? The hell's this? The fuck? We're gonna watch this video, right, guys? Alright, ready for the drop? He's so baked, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Video game destroying hordes of enemies around you when suddenly a creature appears that makes you want to quit the game. Even worse, sometimes the player finds an enemy in the game never intended to be found, either because the developer wanted to remove it, or because it was never supposed to show up in the first place. In the spirit of Halloween, today we're diving into the top 10 weirdest, creepy, and confusing enemies found in video games that were never meant to be found. Perfect Dark. On the 4th level of Perfect Dark, you're held up by gunpoint by 2 guards that fortunately have the slowest reflexes in the world.
Sorry, the background was...
While they stand there dumbfounded, you can quickly go up behind this guard, snag his weapon, and quickly take out all the enemies in sight. Except, we missed one. Little known to most playthroughers, if the player were to use an exploit to hover upwards from the base of this wind turbine, they'll find a rather unexpected enemy encounter.
What the fuck?
Well, I think that's the first I've ever seen a killer wind turbine. Now, being that Perfect Dark is a rare game and you may be seeing a few of my videos, a reasonable thought would be that this is yet another troll Easter egg. However, there is a possible explanation to this if you were to use the game's threat detector device. When hovering the device over the wind turbine, the threat detector reads the wind turbine as an autogun. This leads players to believe that the turbine is actually an in-game autogun that's been highly modified to look like a wind turbine, which for some reason is still enabled if you get in its line of sight. Even though this enemy is really just an incredible oversight, given Rare's history, I would still think twice about approaching another wind turbine if I saw another one in one of their games.
Okay, next one.
Halo 2. On the map High Charity, modders found an interesting enemy still coded into the game data that could be spawned into this map if you were to swap it in with one of the normal enemies in the level. Ew. This enemy is known as the
Dude,
Flood
I was so
Juggernaut.
scared of the
It
infestation.
was assumed for a long time in the Halo community that it
was
was
scary.
cut for being too intense. However, concept artist Robert McLeese explained it was actually removed in order to better balance the perception of Halo 2's AI system. McLeese suggested the Juggernaut, as he put it, was too intelligent of an enemy, killing players so effectively with its long-reaching, creepy, one-hit kill tentacles that it was perceived as cheap and frustrating. Thus, to make the game experience feel more balanced for the player, the monstrosity was cut from the final game, even though you would have only had to face 2 in the entire adventure. However, the Juggernaut finally got its time to shine in Halo Wars, this time under the name Abomination. I think that's a more appropriate name.
Cool.
Luigi's Mansion. Similar to the last enemy, players managed to hack in this creature into Luigi's Mansion, only known in the files as elh.spz. Unfortunately,
See,
the
I want
model's
this kind of
completely
creepy shit.
untextured, so it's a complete mystery what the hell this thing is supposed to be. But its strange shape and constant twisting leaves a lot to the imagination. Honestly, I think this thing being untextured only makes this thing that much creepier.
It's the same thing.
Weird.
Shit.
Final Fantasy VIII. In the last video, I showed off how Final Fantasy VII had a rather disturbing
found out what it is,
debug
guys.
room deep inside the data.
DJ
of the
Khaled.
game.
The whole
However,
time.
Final Fantasy VII isn't the only Final Fantasy with some unexpected debug content, as Final Fantasy VIII has an interesting enemy that can only be found inside some of the game's test battles if you were to dig deep enough with a Game Shark. This ridiculous looking guy's name is Dummy. Dummy referring to the fact that it was intended as a placeholder for testing purposes. Still, I
Thank you,
like
Trey
the
of
fact
Spades.
that a smidgen of effort was
13
put
months,
into a
thank you.
character who has no significance whatsoever. He's funny looking, but yet almost creepy. In most all versions, Dummy's enemy description is nearly completely empty. Strangely enough though, exclusively in the Italian version of Final Fantasy VIII exist these words in the Dummy's description. And if you were to translate them, this translation is killing me. It's almost 2 in the morning. I'm tired. I'm tired. Looks like we
Okay, how
almost
the
had
fuck was that one creepy?
another Alan moment with one of the translators. Except in this case, no player was truly going to find that in a normal playthrough. I think Alan still wins this one, though perhaps that's more of a loss than a win. Fallout, New Vegas.
Oh, because it's Italian?
Using the console command player.place level actor at me 11324A.
Oh, yeah, this
This
one.
huge behemoth that can be found nowhere else in the game plops into the environment. Oh, but wait, his head's in the ceiling. There we go. While his editor ID is Gorgira, his name simply reads as Gecko in the game world. Gorgira is by far the strongest enemy in the game, with a base damage of 400 and an unheard of 8000 HP. This means Gorgira would win against every single creature in the game. The speculation was Gorgira was too strong for normal gameplay balance, but it turns out they were never intended to be in the game at all. According to interviews with Bethesda, it turns out animator Seth MacFarlane put it in the game file simply to have something terrorizing exist in the world of New Vegas. Mission accomplished, buddy.
Cool.
Super Mario Sunshine.
Good
You
devs.
may remember the Out of Bounds enemy from my video Craziest Out of Bounds Discoveries Part 2, in which a 2D Goomba-like enemy can be found underneath the level.
So
I
scary.
also found out the same exact enemy exists inside the game files of Pikmin, which doesn't even feature Mario enemies, so that just makes it even more confusing. However, not all is sunshine in Super Mario Sunshine, as players manage to hack in an enemy that's a little unexpected. Ugh.
Okay,
Can
wait,
you
what?
imagine running into this thing during a normal playthrough? If you were to spray the top of this dude's head though, you won't
Look at the
believe
top
what
of
it
this
reveals.
dude's head. Pepe Lover.
Aww. Oh, I guess he's not that horrifying after all. Half-Life. While the Half-Life series has some of the most terrifying enemies to ever grace one's screen, there may be no enemy more terrifying than the deleted Mr. Friendly. Even weirder though may just be his backstory. The senior software developer engineer on the original
Holy shit, the zoom into the face actually freaked me out more.
Half-Life, Ken Birdwell, noticed his friend's 12-year-old brother really liked to draw. He asked the young boy if he had any drawings that he could potentially use to pitch Half-Life monsters to game director Gabe Newell. The boy handed him drawings that were much more twisted and gruesome than he was expecting, and figured Gabe Newell was never going to go for that sort of content. However, it turned out quite the opposite was true, as it turned out Gabe Newell said that the drawings were exactly what he was looking for. Gabe took a particular liking to Mr. Friendly, which Birdman had explained to him the boy had designed the monster as a creature that would try to mate the player to death. Gabe Newell thought the enemy would work great as a Freudian metaphor for the innate adolescent fear of adult reproduction. What? Was that supposed to be a theme in Half-Life? What the hell was Gabe Newell smoking? Mother 3. Mother 3 was the long-anticipated sequel to Mother 2, aka Earthbound in the US, that spanned a 12-year development across 4 different consoles, including the N64 before eventually landing on the Game Boy Advance in 2006. Modders found that by hacking the game through a Visual Boy emulator, they could mod it so that when they encountered a random battle in the game, they would instead be teleported to this completely unique battle never seen anywhere else in the game. An enemy appears called Dung Beetle, who clearly is not a dung beetle. It's actually a deformed version of Klaus, the twin brother of the main character Lucas, slowly fading away while this creepy music plays.
Oh, that's weird.
The enemy has about 12 other forms, all of which are titled in ways that don't match up to the enemy at all, including Tent Person, Clayman, Sign. Towards the end of the animation cycle, the whole thing gets flat out insane. These intense faces fill the screen while the music manages to get even more horrifying and twisted. Although this whole mystery is basically a rabbit hole in endless fan theories, the most common theory is that these animations belong to an alternate darker ending, assumably a removed bad ending. In fact, this player even hacked together what the final battle may have looked like if these images were superimposed behind them. This is further backed by the theory that the original N64 version was confirmed to have a much darker ending before it was scrapped. Yeah, did you guys forget who your publisher was? Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. In Ocarina of Time, with the use of a GameShark device, the player could load in a rather unexpected yet familiar enemy hidden inside of the game data.
Do a barrel roll.
Wait a second, that's the R-Wing, Star Fox's ship from the Star Fox games. What the hell is it doing here? Observant
cool.
players figured out that
Wait,
the
really?
movement patterns of the R-Wing are actually the same as the Volvagia boss later in the game, which leads many to believe that the R-Wing was simply a placeholder model for testing the flight animations of said boss battle. Still, it's kind of freaky it has fully animated laser attacks that actually
So
damage
scary.
Link. Pretty sure
Why
Volvagia
is it-
didn't have any behavior like that.
It's not creepy at all. He just did that for fucking effect. Dude, that's so stupid. It worked though, for me. Got me to click. What if I just did scary streams? Like, guys, our live stream fails. Top 100 scariest links, guys. Holy shit. This is gonna be terrifying. Holy shit, guys. Did you know? Did you know what we're gonna get into here? This is the dark web. The dark web right here, guys. These are seen before. Hey, get this out of here! What the fuck? Pokelawls reminisces over his first blowjob with his girlfriend Blue? Get this out of here!
What?
What? Who is the Clipper? Ron Bennington. I've actually said that to Blue one time after a really good blowjob. Yikes, man. We were just having a moment, chat. I mean, you guys yell at it. This is weird, man. Can't keep secrets between us, chat. Are you okay? Yeah, she's fine. Oh yeah, let's finish this video.
That needed testing. Bloodborne. In Bloodborne, data miner Zoli the Witch found in the game data by entering SIKGC3SM on this glyph object. It will teleport you to this unfinished, normally inaccessible dungeon. Coming through the door, you can already see this horrible monstrosity clipping through the geometry. Holy hell, do I even want to open this thing?
Wow.
Holy This is a deleted final form of the final game's boss battle. Of all the out of bounds and areas of games
really?
I've seen, this is definitely one of the most horrifying.
That's cool though.
If you manage to defeat this deleted atrocity, you're taken to this mysterious dungeon called place name ? Yeah, that seems normal. Inside is this door leading outside and oh. Well, there's gotta be something out here, right? Oh. Great. Killed by the Guardians. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please subscribe, and then
The fuck is this picture?